moved in. I'm back at the truck stop. The apartment will contact me when they are up to me moving in. So I've paid what they've asked me to pay. I've signed what they've asked me to sign. They have signed. I've gotten email confirmation that all that has happened. They're working on it. Yeah, I probably should talk better. You're probably not hearing me very well because I'm so freaking baritone. The phone barely picks up on me. I'm not moved in yet. The apartment's working on it. They'll let me know when I can move in. I've done all my end of getting done. They're working on their end. Did park at their parking lot overnight yesterday night and came back up here sometime. Yeah, I'm at a Flying J now. I found a nice spot with 3 different truck stops. So, very, very cushy situation. And just so you know, living in Carwise, truck stops. Nice. They're making an effort to meet the needs. You got showers. So far, all of them, or a lot of them, have had washer and dryers. There's some sort of cooked, ready-to-eat food. A lot of the truck stops have ready-to-eat salads. Even if they don't have a restaurant that does that kind of thing, or food that does fast food that does that kind of thing, you can get things that are different. I've lived in Texas so long of the extreme heat, I'm very used to eating salads. If I ate and made a meal, it's a good in the past few years, it was a salad. To the point that it was not like other salads. All the other salads have lettuce. I typically made it with spinach. I have made it with kale. I recommend that people not eat kale. I stopped having taste buds pretty much immediately upon eating the kale salad. My tongue looks icky right now. It's busy getting rid of something on it. The taste buds stopped. I stopped having taste buds eating kale. So I'm going to go with, I typically call the body on me inconsequential. I ignore it that much. So, and it has communicated its way of communicating to me that it does not ever want to eat kale again. And so far it still contends it does not want to eat any onions either. So, and I'm the kind of person that'll have onions and obviously kale, and too, I'll drink ginger tea, which apparently inconsequential is like it either. Recommend not eating those. Spinach is good. You know, something different than lettuce. You eat it like lettuce. It works out. It works for me anyway. It's a reasonable meal. It's not a strong flavor. It's nice, mild, like lettuce is. Have I gotten quiet again? Okay. Inconsequential has put that thought in there that I'm not necessarily being heard very well via the videos, but don't eat cake. If it immediately results in you don't have taste buds, don't eat that. I immediately get hiccups enough from eating anything capsaicin that don't put that on your salads either. Not fond of hiccups from habaneros and jalapenos and whatever other hot peppers I put on my salad. Texas is Texas. Get used to that kind of food. And that too. I saw on another YouTuber mention pinball. Mentioned that he knew someone who grew. They were doing some growing competition. Who could grow the biggest, most heavy kind of the stuff they grew, and said the winner so far was someone who grew like a 4 to 5 inch jalapeno. Thank you. Texas can be like bigger than me. It can easily be 6 inches. So Texas definitely still got plenty of peppers. And yeah, it's very hearty looking, stout, wide, long jalapenos, like much longer than I can get my fingers apart. Long, which I know I have small hands considering the size of me. Yes, the flies are still bothering me. I think I mentioned that in the video thing. The flies have decided they really, 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 really like me. And they, if I leave the car door open or anything, that they're immediately in here, and they'll circle around and they'll land on me and they'll walk around on me, and they get to the point that they're comfortable. They try to land on the face or get near the eyes and nose, and of course the inconsequential body on me did not like that immediately and reacts to the fly or the flies. There's been as many as 5 of them in here. There ain't any garbage in here. There ain't any smell. I don't smell. It's them. They just like me. When I was in Texas, it wasn't just the flies. The bees liked me. They'd land on me and walk around on me, and consequential got used to ignoring the fuzzy, furry feeling of bees on me. Butterflies have long since been known to be on me. I'm one of those, oh my goodness, that's an interesting red or hair thingy, and then it moves, and you realize that's a butterfly, not a hair accessory. Because I've gone into a building more than once with a beautiful butterfly, and it doesn't fly away. It just sits there on my head until I go back outside, and then it flies away. They like me. I don't try. They just like me. So wasps too. That can be a bit of an issue. They're not allowed to touch me. They're not allowed to be too close. They're definitely not allowed inside the house. But they have been known to hang out quite a bit. Let's see here. I'm still feeling good today. I watched pinball, which usually talks about politics kind of things, news and whatever, word of mouth news anyway, at least. I don't really know what much he said because most of it kind of blurred together to me. But he did mention a chart and stuff that he had questions about. That some sort of statistic about countries and how much of the population can last more than 4 months or whatever was the amount of without an income. And personally, I think a lot of people, and none of it's mentioned this too much, very hardly at all, if at all, a lot of people are getting really, really, really good at being poor. And if you've got lots of practice, experience, and you get it down to a talent, and you live wherever you live for as long as you live there, whether it be the car, the street, the park, an apartment, a house. You live just wherever you live. You get good at not eating and getting fuel efficient. I know they don't talk about humans getting more fuel efficient, but they actually can get to where they need less and less food. But I know for a fact I do not eat enough to make, by their math of using it up fuel wise, I do not eat enough to to have or maintain how big I am. So I can definitely say I'm fuel efficient. I'm sure other people are too. You just get good at it though. And I think that explains some of his the numbers that were in something he discovered of roaming around places of charts and studies and statistics. He discovered that America's supposed to have like 50% of the population. Now, that was not, there were other countries that had 50%. That 50% of the population could go 4 months without income and do some level of meeting their functionality anyway. Which I think has to do with being fuel efficient and not needing hardly any food. Maybe even water too. I'm sure water too. Not needing to eat or drink much. Not being able to live anywhere. And if you get and for those that can walk anywhere, they don't need a vehicle either. Why? Eventually they get good at being poor. They get good at being homeless. They got it down to a fine art. And I think that's my explanation for that particular study he discovered, wherever he discovered it. And people are getting good at it. I haven't really listened to Glenn Beck lately, but when because I'm trying to be able to listen to them talk about politics again. But last time I tried to listen to Glenn Beck, something was wrong with his appness. It kept insisting I have to subscribe, and if I looked under my account, I had auto renewal and I was subscribed and everything was fine. But if I tried to look at any of the shows, it said I had to subscribe. So something's up with his app. So fly, knock it off, bothering the face. And anyway, I will mention, we'll talk about me being differently abilities and perceivings and like I've been around UV lights, like they're specifically only doing UV, and typically other people can't see whether or not the light is on or not because they don't see UV light. I do. I can like other LED light bulbs and stuff. I can see that they are on. You can see that they're on. Well, I'm like that about UV lights. I've been around several of them. There's pink and there's blue UV. So I definitely can tell that they are on or they're off. Too, some people have mentioned on occasion things looking different or having different coloring kind of thing than what I see. The sky is a good example. They'll mention, it's blue today. It's really blue today. And then you like get look like kind of reaction to, another great day, wonderful. So Also, blue eyes aren't ever gray. I've only seen one person with blue eyes, and it was a dark navy blue, but obviously blue, just not any. Navy blue is the closest of describing the color. That one person. Everyone else who says they have blue eyes, or someone says they have blue eyes, they have gray eyes to me. Their eyes are gray. Different shades of gray, different combinations of grayness going on in there, but not blue. Gray. I see another example. I've seen daisies, and the white daisy, poor man's rose, that kind of thing. They're always white though, and I've seen daisies have colors. So the person will and say it's white, and I will tell them it's white and pink, because part of the petal is pink, not white. To me, anyway. Fly. Anyway, it's being that way. Let's see, another example of perceiving different. Sometimes the sky is white. It's not gray. It's not blue. It's not even cloudy. It's just white. Heat lamps. I've had occasions where people have mentioned that they can't tell if the heat lamp was on or not. And they worked at the fast food, and they didn't see what it always looked off to them, and I could tell them, no, it's on. It's yellow, bright yellow. It's on. And I got the look from them working there that you can. It's like, huh? And they reached over and found where the on-off switch, and yes, it was on. Yes, you can see the heat lamp. So, yeah, I can see the heat lamp. The heat lamp was yellow, glowy. It was on. Different thing about perceiving. I know what dogs communicate, and I don't perceive anything of what they're communicating barking wise, but they can be quietly communicating wise to me. Wise, I'm aware of, I don't know, I typically think of it as telepathy. I know what they're trying to say anyway. They'll sit there and look at you, and I can tell that they're trying to say they're saying they're hungry. Other times, they're trying to be an attack dog kind of thing. They're acting like they're gonna, they're all this and they're all that, and they're gonna, And I look at them, and I don't have to stare at them or even make eye contact. And I let them know that it's not going to work out. I do know how to kick your ass. And they realized I answered them. And occasionally, they've asked if I said that. I said, and then I communicate yes, nodded, and said it out loud. I do indeed know how to kick your ass. And then they decided to have an attitude adjustment and not be that way. I have another topic that I have occasionally been have a conversation with about is those that are big into having guns, which is fine. I don't have a problem with everyone being armed. I'm into it. I get the Swiss do not have a crime or invasion problem. They do not get invaded, and they do not have a crime rate, because absolutely every citizen is required to be armed, trained, and dangerous at all times. I get that working. I do. I just not into guns because I don't believe in needing a weapon, thinking for finding the weapon. I believe in being it. I am dangerous. I can be my weapon. None of this bullets this and armor that. I can and will kick your ass, and the only thing that be left is a greasy spot and some hair. Level of I can defend myself. I was taught, and both my parents were military. I was taught hand-to-hand combat. I was taught to snap that neck, climb them, jump them. A kid's strength is enough to break a human neck. A child, a 4-year-old amount of strength can break an adult's neck. I was taught to defend myself. They were very concerned all the time about anything happening to me and taught me how to defend myself. And my dad would teach me and show me how to break a neck and how to, and when to stop. If the learning wise of you go any farther, that they are now a quadriplegic if they're still alive, which typically wise isn't an if. You're going to be dead if there are neck bones break that you ain't even breathing after that. There ain't a heartbeat. You're dead immediately. You ain't getting back up. You ain't going to be a witness. You ain't going to do your word against mine. You ain't going to claim that it's my fault that you broke in. It's my fault that you did whatever. It's my fault that you attacked me. Dad ain't going to be doing that. So, I'm a military brat. Shit, get it done. And I know how to do that. Practice, skilled, and made sure by the time I was 8, I definitely had that too. I don't do the same kind of I don't do a stance. You know, the styles. After they trained me, they had me take things like karate. I don't what I can do and what I was taught to do is not a style of fighting. It's not a style. It's not out there. Karate hasn't got a clue. You don't punch. You don't even with, and that's just boxing wise of fighting. There will be no fists. You do not make your hand into a fist. You either get it ready to grab, or you're in an unarmed. I'm not engaging in you do positions of the hands that you either are or are not going to about to defend yourself. That's what it communicates. Open the hand open. I am ready and able and going to defend myself. If you try to grab me, punch me, that limb comes towards me, you are losing that limb, and the rest of you too. But closed around the thumb means I'm not engaging, and I'm being as get along with you as I can be, and I also was that freaking fly. Anyway, I was also taught things like of self-defense. They grab you, and granted, at least me and my dad in particular, we're a tad bit sturdy, regardless of whatever you may see wise of fat. or skin or whatever on me, I'm sturdy. I am solid under the skin. Solid. Fly? Stop it. And I know that basically if someone is grabbing you, holding you, trying to hurt you or strain you or whatever they're trying to do, how to remove them from yourself. One is scrape them off onto a wall or railing. Just drag them along until they into positions against things that they can't hold on anymore. Another one is to some movements you can do where they have a very difficult time holding on to your arms. There's hand movement ones where they have a very difficult time doing anything grip wise of your hand itself. Movements to get out of restraints like handcuffs. No key or anything, just be able to move in such a way to remove your hands from handcuffs. Anyway, I had a different perspective on guns and self-defense. My definition of you can handle it is you don't need a weapon. Now, I do agree weapons are tools. They are a tool. And I contend that situations happen. The situation is not waiting for you to find your tools and get organized and ready to do something about it. It's immediate. You have to be able to size them up, be aware of what's going on, where it's going on, how big it is, how strong it is, what its next movements are going to be, and ready to deal with it. So, I'm not against guns. Go for it if you want to. I'm someone that doesn't believe in needing them. It's already been 30 minutes. All right. Well, okay. This YouTube's done. I'm not moved in yet. Living the car life. And we had a nice chat.